Hey yo, what's decent? I'm all up in your face at Lens Crafters. Yo, tell me why I had a crazy underused match recently on my stream. This battle is so majestic. When I actually went to go back to commentate on this video and I looked at the battle, I was like, yo, I see a golem. This is NU? I don't remember playing an NU match. And I look at it again, I'm like, oh, this is underused. I see my big ass Raikou. But anyway, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna double switch right back out into my Raikou after insinuating that I do want to set up the Stealth Fox with my Gligar. Hence his switch out, because I get a nice substitute up for whatever he decides to switch into, and that is back out into Golem. So I'm able to finish off this thing via the Aura Sphere, which is great because I have a substitute up for his next Pokemon. Awesome. And I could always set up the Stealth Fox later on. I mean, he's scared of it. I mean, this guy has he had the Golem with the Sturdy. He has a couple of Pokemon that take super effective damage from all kinds of rock type attacks. So I don't blame him for initially switching out to Zatu, to block my Stealth Fox. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna bring in the Rotom, right? To dwindle down my HP a little bit, because I'm gonna eventually have to set up another substitute. But then via that, I'm using the Calm Minds and stuff like that. Probably just trying to set up on it a little bit more. He's not going to be able to do all too much to me. His special attack does dwindle down every time he uses Overheat. So in comes back his Snorlax, which is his special wall, and then he looks at it, I take a nice return, well, at least my substitute takes a return, and then afterwards in comes back in my Blastoise, because I'm thinking alright, Blastoise is like my physical wall. I'm thinking he's going to want to go for the Earthquake, so I had the ideology to set up the Toxic on whatever he want to switch out into, because it's like his Blastoise. I do have the Roar if he wants to go to sleep or anything like that, to distort how many turns his Snorlax would go to sleep. But in comes his Yamega, and that throws me off guard a bit, because I was like, damn man, I had the +2 Raikou doing mad damage to everything. So I guess he was panic switching, which is kind of what I would do if I was looking at a +3 Dragonite, with freaking Outrage and Earthquake and everything like that, ready to destroy my whole team, get swept, you get them little panic switches. But so that's what I thought he was doing, and it kind of upset me a little bit. But anyway, in comes this damn Azumarill, and you see how much damage it did to my Snorlax? God damn, huge power, choice banded. I can't even talk properly no more, son. You just completely distorted everything I stood for just now, man, with that damn waterfall, choice banded, huge power attack that you just did. Anyway, in comes back his Rotom, right? And I'm like, alright, he recovered leftovers first, so he's gonna be able to finish my Blastoise off. But it did its job, because it rapid spun away his entry hazards, and he has no more Golem, so he can't set up the entry hazards anymore. He goes to the Aqua Jet, which seems weird at first glance, which is actually a smart play in retrospect, because if he didn't go for the Aqua Jet, that means after he finishes off the Snorlax with my Waterfall, I'm free to come in with Raikou, do the same thing again with the substitute, except I won't necessarily repeat the same thing twice. I would just go straight for the Thunderbolt to finish off the Azumarill right away. And then afterwards, he doesn't have a choice band of Azumarill anymore. So it was actually smart right away, so he can inflict some damage onto whatever I decide to bring in to deal with the Azumarill. In comes his Yamega, finishes off my Snorlax, as Azumarill did start off to begin with, and comes back in my Gligar, and I'm thinking alright, I should have actually set up the Stealth Fox lastly, and then went for the Roost initially, because I was even at full HP, to see if I could deal with a special attacking threat, even though Gligar is a physical wall. I mean, that makes perfect sense, Kashiv. You're fucking up, buddy. But anyway, it comes back in this Rotom. I have 252 in HP, but it's not all put in defense. It's spread out between speed and stuff like that. So it's actually surprising in a bit that I was able to outspeed the Rotom, but not all too surprising because of my speed investment. One thing that does leave me slightly distraught, however, was that when I switched right back out into Azumarill, my Gligar's Toxic doesn't connect with it, which means that I can't outstall it. I mean, how does that even sound? I can't outstall an Azumarill with a Gligar? That's completely ludicrous. Anyway, I switched right back out into my Nidoqueen after I witnessed my Gligar biting the dust, and then in comes the Zatu. Man, I have the Blizzard. I don't have Ice Beam. Blizzard is an OHKO on that thing, man. In comes his Snorlax, and then afterwards Snorlax does the Earthquake like I suspected that he had earlier on, which means that when he switches right back out into Azumarill later on after I finish off the Snorlax, he is gonna indefinitely lock himself onto Aqua Jet and then finish off my Nidoqueen. But if this was a Nidoking, Snorlax will still be alive, in a sense, because Earth Power is not OHKOing Snorlax no time soon. But then again, Earthquake would deal more damage offensively to a Nidoking than it would to a Nidoqueen. So I just go for the Aura Sphere, because I know Toxic would finish it off anyway, just assuming that it would survive the Aura Sphere anyway. I'm just gonna go for the substitute so that he goes for the Overheat and gets a -2, because my Chandelure is actually Flame Body. It's not even Flash Fire anymore, so I just happen to change it. I find Flame Body a little bit more effective, actually. Thank you, Joey, for showing me that. So I completely stole it from him, and I happened to like test it out, and it completely works. I mean, hey. So I definitely had a lot of fun. I was able to finish off his rotom with the Chandelure you guys saw. Peace! What you doing?